All right. We have Dark Y Otter and No Meta But Fun, who is also known as Knighthood. Knighthood has been pitching me a double Handmaiden of the Everqueen for quite a while. I've not taken him up on it, but mostly because I'm not really much of a high elf player. I don't play a ton of them. So, I have not experienced them so far. He has sent in a couple replays of them. He had one versus Slanesh that I almost cast, but it was a little bit of front to back, like just Slanesh walked at him and didn't make it through the front line. The double Handmaidens existed, but yeah, this game looked a bit closer, so I thought I'd just go with this one. For the rest of his build, he does have 2 Lyran Reavers, 4 War Lions of Krace, the Storm Riders, Lothern Seaguard, 5 Rangers, the double Handmaidens of the Everqueen. One of them does have that Horn of Isha, reload skill and melee attack. And then we have Larry in the back with Tempest, Earthblood, and Star of Averlon. On the other side, for the Dark Elves, you have Dreadspears, 5 of them, double War Hydra. No, the Chill of Sontar Hydra and a Kharybdis. Triple Scourge Runner Chariot and Malekith up on his dragon with Soul Stealer and Stand Your Ground. Oh, we have an assassin, a little assassin, with a Web of Shadows. Haven't seen a Canadian assassin in a long time. So Scourge Runners went into melee and tried to be used as like melee chariots, and that's normally smart, but chariots, this is recorded on patch 3.0. I don't know when it's going to come out, so in the future you might be on 3.1. But melee chariots on 3.0 just don't do any damage at all, and they take a lot, so Scourge Runner's not having a good time. They do want to run away. Canadian Assassin was surrounded. He probably needed to throw down his Web of Shadows while those 2 were in range. It looks like he's going to throw it out now, but it's kind of like Traderkin where it does better versus single entities, so he wanted to catch both those Handmaidens in it. Malekith getting hit with an Overcast Tempest just for some poke damage, not as much the slow. And Dark Elves are slightly up on bounce power. Now it's back towards the middle, and I guess that is kind of true. Rangers are being routed across the board. War Lions aren't having the best day, so I suppose I could see where it's coming from. Storm Riders chilling, shooting in the Chill of Sontar. Probably want to shoot the Kharybdis, though, like, to be completely fair, these look exactly the same. Even I assumed it was double Hydra, but that is a Kharybdis, so it does not have healing. Poking it down would be rather beneficial. Also, the Kharybdis, if you don't know what it even is, it's an anti-large, armor-piercing duelist monster that has a -8 leadership aura around it. It's extremely niche and usually considered quite bad, because it's not even that good of a duelist when you do get it into a fight. Chill of Sontar, though, going to get a breath attack off onto the Storm Riders for a little bit of poke, then he starts to promptly ignore them. And the Murderous Prowess has popped for the Dark Elves, trying to give them a little bit more leadership and melee attack. It will not be enough to save these Dreadspears, though. They are gone as hell. Scourge and Chariot still running around. Lots of ammo left on those guys. Canadian Assassin 2 has plenty of ammo left. The double Handmaidens of the Everqueen have just been sitting back, firing. I don't know what they're shooting at the moment. It looks like they've been poking down the Chill of Sontar. And another Tempest Overcast from Alariel onto Malekith, really just trying to whittle him down with kind of aerial Spirit Leech type spells. War Lions and Rangers opting back to fight with the Dreadspears, but those Dreadspears should be able to win that out eventually. The Chill of Sontar is surrounded right now by Lyran Reavers and the double Handmaidens, but looks like he will be just fine. Handmaidens do have anti-large in melee, not a ton of armor piercing, but he doesn't have a ton of armor, so that just works out for everybody involved, doesn't it? Chill of Sontar real close to routing. Hydras do not have the best leadership. High Elves are rallying on the far side, getting their War Lions and stuff together, getting some infantry together. But Malekith will peel those little Handmaidens off of the Chill of Sontar, who did rout. As Scourge Runners continue to fire, and the Kharybdis is chilling, vibing. Malekith gets attacked by the Handmaidens, even with his Stand Your Ground. 72 melee attack is not serving him that well. Star Babylon is out to do some healing, I guess, to these Cav and the single entities to keep it. I think it's preemptive healing, because they didn't really need a ton at the time. So I think L'Oreal just wanted to make sure they didn't get too damaged or anything, get routed off. Kind of surprised Malekith hasn't thrown down a Soul Stealer here yet. Soul Stealer, much like the Web of Shadows from that Canadian Assassin, would be pretty good at chunking out these 2 single entity characters. Chill of Sontar is getting its double heal proc, so it's already almost heal cap, and there is a big Soul Stealer from Malekith. It is going to hit both War Lions of Krace, the Lyran Reavers, and both single entities in the area, so that is going to be a big Soul Stealer value-wise. And balance power is slightly in favor of the High Elves. That does feel like they have a pretty good handle on this game. Storm Riders continuing to fire in, and Malekith gets hit with yet another Tempest from Larry. But Larry did have to come back, leaving the Chill of Sontar free and clear to return to the fight. War Lions getting routed off, and the Handmaidens have taken a little bit of poke. the healthiest War Lion and Illyrian Reavers joining in on the fight. Larry's also diving onto Malekith, really trying to finish him off, snipe him out. His leadership is getting danger low, and she even throws out Earthblood, heal everybody up in this area. So it's a pretty bad time for the Dark Elves right now. Malekith went negative for a second. He is rallying a little bit. Now he's negative again. And he rallies yet again somehow. Surprising. The Kharybdis is loving this fight. The Blob fight, its -8 leadership aura from the Abyssal Howl is getting stuff low enough down that it can tear out even at full HP. The War Lions of Kharybdis are a high elf unit, so their leadership is usually pretty good, but that combo of abilities is really hurting them. Scourge Chariot's taking a ton of damage. While they have a lot of ammo, they should be outside the fight shooting. They're a little too ham in this melee combat right now. We have more Dread Spears from the Dark Elves coming in the distance. It's a shame for them that these two healthy Dread Spear units are not a part of this big blob fight that's happening, as the Kharybdis continues to attempt to kill off the Handmaidens, and it is going to get some hits in, but you can see that it's struggling for having pretty insane stats versus these horse characters. A 55 melee attack and 500 weapon strength for the 30 bonus versus large. It still just misses a lot. Like, or does splash attacks. I don't know. It just doesn't do as much damage as it really needs to. Malekith jumps in and shows it how it's done. He gets hit with a Tempest, but he's already done more damage to that Handmaiden than the Kharybdis did in like 85 attacks, so that was pretty sad for everybody to watch. Malekith healed up with the Soul Stealer, gets counter hit with a Tempest that has just been whittling him down. Not crazy damage on it, but it is slow and consistent over time. And Undercast is only 10 wins of magic, which isn't that bad for, I guess, poking down such an expensive lord. Bounce powers back to even. We have Dread Spears. Ooh, one has been forgotten in the distance, but the other healthy one's almost here. Scourger and Chariots are safe for now, using their ammunition to a better effect. Oh god, as I say that, they're going to go into melee, and immediately they lose a model. Oh no, never use Chariots in melee if you're on patch 3.0. They're so bad at it. High Elves are grouping up in the distance for another Star of Avalorn. They're just trying to heal. And Scourge Runners do manage to rout those Rangers with Malekith's help, but they take more damage on it than it's worth. And hey, the Canadian Assassin's still alive. Hi. I thought you were dead, like a long time ago. Balance power shifts back in the favor of the High Elves as they did get some healing. Chill of Sontar is almost heal capped. But I don't know. It's a little risky. It's a little risky. As those Handmaidens, the Everqueen, continue to kite in. Malekith is just going to rout off some stuff. Here we go, Dragon Lord jumping into some Rangers, but another Tempest is going to hit him, it looks like, and the Handmaidens charge in. Big snipe attempt on the Malekith, who throws down a Soul Stealer of his own that hits all of these High Elf units. Pretty good Soul Stealer. I don't know if it's going to be enough to save his life, and it looks like it will not be, as the healing from the Soul Stealer is battling against the Tempest and the poke from the Handmaidens. He is getting awfully close to dead. But he does manage to survive that for a second. Larry is after him. The Kharybdis and Chill of Sontar are trying to fight the Handmaiden and the Everqueen, but the Kharybdis just keeps fucking missing its attacks. No matter how high its stats are, it just can't hit, man. 1,000 value on that guy who's been fighting all game, and he costs way more than that. Malekith dies to Larry in the distance, causing a leadership spike that's probably the doom of the Dark Elves. These Dread Spears are going to rout, and with them, the Kharybdis probably, and with the Kharybdis, the game. No, the Dread Spears do manage to rally. Chill of Sontar still fighting, do push off the Handmaiden and the Everqueen, and a massive terror rout from the Kharybdis onto the High Elves, but I don't think it is enough. You have a full health Larry in the distance. She's going to be fine. She can rally everybody, and these Handmaidens can continue to use their 17 ammunition they have left onto your units, so I do think this is probably the big ogre. Some of the High Elves are shattering. Chill of Sontar even gets a breath attack off, but Larry lands in. The leadership dips. It fails without the Chill of Sontar. Don't think we can do it, as the Kharybdis actually gets some decent shots back onto Larry. Chill of Sontar comes back one more time. A rear charge from Larry, probably going to finish him off. There he goes. He shatters. For the High Elves, what do we have? We have one Handmaiden with 6 ammunition, chasing down a Canadian Assassin. Larry is very healthy. We have some Rangers that no one cares about in the War Lions of Christ. Okay, army losses takes them, but if they had been forced to scrap it out, actually, maybe the Kharybdis could have carried if it actually hit some goddamn attacks for once in its life. Maybe. For Knighthood, Larry got 2,800 value off of Tempests and Cycle Charging. Handmaidens both performed quite nicely versus the Dark Elves. Warlines of Krace, mixed value overall, but nice. Storm Riders got to shoot the whole game, 2,600 on them. Rangers struggled pretty hard, so did the Illyrian Reavers. The other side, Malekith, 2,600. Chill of Sontar did pretty poorly. The Kharybdis ended up doing okay. Ended up is the key word there, but I don't know. I saw it fail an awful lot of attacks it should have been hitting. Scourge Run Chariots really had a hard time paying for themselves. They were used too aggressively in melee, which like would be smart if Chariots were working properly, but they don't. So using them in melee at all is actually kind of troll, unfortunately. Canadian Assassin paid for himself. He did fine. GG. Roar. Subscribe, yes, yes.